Hello and welcome. I'm Giovanni Hall Art, and today I'm going to do quick drawings and just warm up the sketches and probably develop one of these drawings to the final drawing. We're going to have some fun with it. You can follow me on Instagram, Blue Sky, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon for more exclusive stuff. As I'm drawing, I'll be listening to a podcast by Rotten Mango. There's just something in the background to play as I'm working. Alright, let's get into it. Warm up sketches. Alright.
It is the 22nd day of court. Father Arun takes the bench at 8:50 in the morning. On a normal day, there's going to be initial conversations, but within the hour, the witness is going to be brought back onto the stand. The jurors are going to file in, take their seats. This day, this Thursday, is very different. After taking the bench, there's a few back and forths between the parties, the prosecutors and the defense team. And then suddenly Judge Arun, aka Father Arun, that's what we like to call him, he calls for a sidebar in the robing room. This is a little weird. So the robing room is like a little side office. The door is right by the judge's bench in the left far side corner of the courtroom. It's like right at the very front, next to his bench. Normally, he'll call for a sidebar, and that's when the jurors are in the room. So the jurors are sitting, they call for a sidebar, they turn on the white noise, the lead attorneys will go to the corner of the room, and they'll do like a little football huddle. And they'll talk, and they don't want the jurors to hear this. Usually when you get the transcript at the end of the day, however, it will have the sidebar unless it's sealed. Now, the jurors are not in the room. The witness is not in the room. And he's saying, I don't want the press and the public. Nobody can hear this. We need to go into the robing room.
Does that mean that there's no transcript of it either?
It's going to be sealed.
Oh.
There's about I think 35 pages that are sealed. And this all takes place in the robing room. They are in the robing room for a very long time. So Father Arun, the stenographer, the court reporter, they disappear because even if it's sealed, it still has to be on the record.
Oh.
Now the court reporter and the lead counsel from both sides, they disappear into the robing room. One discussion turns into two. I mean, people will come in and out. So like Maureen Comey will come in, Mark Agnifilo will go out, they'll disappear for 20 minutes and then they'll come back in. And it's just like a lot of back and forth. And the whole time, the public, the press, everybody's getting a little bit angsty because we've never seen this happen before. In fact, usually when they go meet in the robing room, this happens before we even get called up into the courtroom.
What does that mean? Like they talk inside of that room?
Yeah, and then it'll just be on the transcript. It won't be sealed. And then you're like, oh, it says in the robing room.
I see.
You never really see them say, hey, let's go to the robing room right now.
So this is like the first time?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're gone for a long time, just back and forth, back and
Like
forth.
how long?
And I mean, it was over an hour.
Wow.
And everybody's just sitting there like this has never happened
welcome.
before. And
Welcome to the stream.
everybody seems stressed. Everybody is trying to read people's facial expressions, trying to read the body language of the prosecutors, trying to read the body language of the defense team. And it's just so confusing because we have no idea what's happening. And you also want to know who's in trouble? Like that's usually the first thing in the press pew's mind. One side has got to be in trouble or one side is losing an argument or it's a very contentious fight. Now at one point, however, Maureen Comey, the lead prosecutor, she exits the robing room and she's got a small smile on her face and she looks at her team of prosecutors and she just shrugs her shoulders. Like, I don't know what they're fighting about in there. I don't know what's going on.
Crazy. Is that like her usual attitude all the time? Like
Yeah, I mean, she's getting progressively a little more stern. I mean, she's always been very stern with how she feels, but she seems to be maybe one of the very few people where it seems like the house is on fire and she'll just walk out of there shrugging. She seems like the most chill out of all of them.
Wow.
So, okay, maybe it seems like there's nothing to worry about. The same cannot be said for the defense. When Mark Agnifilo comes out at around 10 in the morning, so we're about like an hour into the robing room meeting. Again, the jury nor the witness are there, so the actual testimony, the actual court day has yet to start. And Mark Agnifilo, here's the thing about the defense team men. Mark Agnifilo, Brian Steele, the minute that they are stressed, their faces are red. I mean, I guess there's no makeup to hide it either. So like you just see it on their face and sometimes the redness will come down to their neck.
Wow.
So like they can try to poker face it, but their face gives it away. His face is red, and you can just read him like a book. His brows are knitted together, and he stands now facing towards us, right in front of Sean Combs, who's still sitting at the defense table. So he's been sitting there with us for like an hour. Mark is on the other side facing, he's standing, Sean Combs is sitting, and it feels like the entire defense team, they fall into formation. Like soldiers at attention, they make a human force field huddle around Sean Combs. Every single other defense attorney is standing behind Sean Combs in a curve so that none of the press pews, none of the public can really see what's going on. And Mark is standing facing us so we can see Mark, and he is explaining to Sean Combs probably what they're talking about in there. And it seems, okay, at first, we didn't really know why this huddle is happening. It just felt like, is this like a pep talk? Are they going to do like one of those like football sports team pep talks? What's happening? But then we see a little bit of Mark Agnifalo's face, and he seems stressed. And he's like kind of waving his hands. And at one point, we're trying to lip read, and all we can read, we think, we don't know, is he saying, I don't know, I don't know. That's what it looks like. I don't know, I don't know. And then from the crack and like the little angle of our seat, because all the press pews were like doing this, okay? And we're all like, did you see that? Did you see that? Because you can see Sean Combs beyond livid. He has never dropped any sort of, like, he'll be nodding at jurors. Like, we've talked about everything that he's been doing. He'll be talking to sketch artists. He'll be mouthing stuff to the public and the press pews. But we have never seen him this pissed off before.
Well, what's his like body language?
He's looking at the attorneys, and all we see is his right hand in the air going like he's like
waving it,
saying something with a lot of passion. Like, what is happening? Like that kind of vibe. And then it seems like Mark Agnifalo is like, I don't know, I don't know.
Welcome, David.
And it just felt like we were seeing something that we weren't supposed to be seeing, because what's happening inside of this huddle? And Sean Combs seems like he's just progressively getting angrier all Thursday morning. Like, we've never seen him move that quickly. It's fast. It's like he's swatting the air. I mean, he's rapidly talking. His lips are like shooting off whatever he's saying. He just seems so pissed off. And Mark Agnifalo's face is just getting redder and redder. And so they huddle for a really long time. And the press pews, we start getting word of things. Okay, there's like waves of rumors. Usually like the rumors will come and go on the press pews. There's not that many rumors to go around. But this Thursday morning, I don't even know how it's like telephone. Literally, we're just all like, wait, what's going on? You ask the person next to you and they're like, okay, so we heard, and I don't know if this is true, but somebody on Sean Combs's like family or friend side potentially reached out to a witness, which would be really bad.
And this is a rumor.
This is completely a rumor. I mean, I would imagine if this were true, we would have heard about it by now.
Okay.
But they're just saying, I don't know. That's what that person said.
This is like while this is happening. Like,
yeah.
They're huddling. Okay.
And the press pews are just trying to figure out. And I don't even know how this rumor started. I don't know who started it. I don't know if it was valid, if it's not valid. I imagine, again, if this were true, we would have heard about it by now, because that would be a very big deal. But it's just like, we don't know. We don't know. That's what they said. And then they're like, I don't know. That's what she said. That's what he said. And then it's like, okay, the rumor kind of dies down, because we're like, what are the odds of that? And then another rumor comes through. Okay, so we heard that Kanye West is trying to get in, and we're like, wait, what? What do you mean he's trying to get in?
Yeah,
but that doesn't make sense, because if he's trying to get in, why would Diddy be so upset about it? Like, why would it cause an hour in the roping room, and then why would it cause him to be so passionately angry? And then also, there's so many other questions, like, why the hell is Kanye here? Because sure, we can simply say that Kanye is trying to get into the courthouse to support Diddy, a friend, but it seems a lot deeper, perhaps even a lot darker than that, with a lot of people starting to speculate, well, it's because he's next, that he's going to be the next one that the feds take down after Diddy.
My brain was all over the place, like a squirrel with 6 phones. Then I got Motion. It's not just a calendar, it's not just a task manager, it's my AI assistant that actually assists. Motion sets the meeting, takes notes for me, pulls out the action items, turns them into to-dos, and schedules them into my calendar automatically. If I take a 2-hour lunch on Friday with the boys, Motion remixes my week like the world's fastest DJ. Everything still gets done, just smarter. No more terrifying pings, no more late night replays in my head, no more
Already.
doing what I forgot to do.
We're gonna skip this ad.
Finally quiet.
I'm just trying to get this rough shape out. Go and clean up after. Oops. Rough posing.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the
Hello,
Minority
how are
Information
you?
Coalition. They're an umbrella policy and advocacy organization
Congratulations
that
on your
represents over
YouTube channel.
200
I see
immigrant
you
and
taking off
refugee
with all
rights
the
groups throughout
animation
New
and your
York.
tips.
This episode's
That's
partnerships
always
have also made it
awesome.
possible to
I'm
support
saying
Rotten
your
Mango's
name
growing
wrong.
team.
Curry
And we'd also
A?
like to thank you guys for
Is
your
that how you
continued
say it?
support. As always,
Curry.
full show notes are available at
I can't say your name.
rottenmangopodcast.com. Now, some of the quotes and statements have been
I saw
shortened,
your face
combined,
reveal.
and condensed for
Not what I
brevity.
expected.
Any and all observations in the courtroom were made by either my researchers or myself in real time. However, please understand that these are just our own personal experiences. There are many people in the courtroom that might have had different experiences, different thoughts, different opinions. A few content disclaimers before we get started. Today's episode includes brief mentions of DV, physical and essay, childhood essay, trafficking, and additionally, there are discussions surrounding topics like racism, anti-Semitism, and hate speech. So please watch with caution, take breaks if you need to, and a few disclaimers about Diddy and Kanye. The people involved in today's episode, I mean, as we both know, Kanye has not been indicted for any crimes. He has not been arrested. He has not been charged with any crimes. There are a few active civil lawsuits against him, but as of right now, those are just allegations at this point. Sean Combs as well, he has been charged. This is a trafficking trial, racketeering RICO trial. However, he has not been convicted yet. So everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And in the most recent years, as some of you may know, Kanye has become incredibly anti-Semitic, which is never okay. He has made so many public tirades involving anti-Semitism and hate speech. He genuinely has said things that are unfathomable to like come out of somebody's mind, let alone someone with that massive of a platform. I mean, Kanye's lore is almost as deep as Sean Combs's lore, and we would need 10 hours, a 4-part series to even truly cover and report on it all. So for the purpose of this episode, we are specifically focusing on Kanye's actions, a few good, mostly bad, that relate to Kanye's involvement in Diddy's trial. So I want to be super clear that we are not intentionally ignoring these moments, nor are we trying to somehow minimize them by not including them. It's just, it would take so long to go through every hateful thing that he's ever said about any group of people. So with that being said, let's get started. 2024 is a very, very bad year with Sean Combs. I mean, that much is clear. He's not having a good time last year, but it's also a very, very bad year for somebody else in the music industry, Kanye West. And interestingly enough, a lot of people think it's not a coincidence that Sean Combs is having a bad 2024 and Kanye West is having a bad 2024.
Your sketches look solid.
And maybe
thank
Sean
you very
Combs
much.
is living on a faster timeline.
I'm a little rusty
That's
right
what
now.
People are speculating that maybe Kanye
like really
West,
rough and
his
loose.
trajectory is going to look
Appreciate that.
oddly similar.
I'm
So
just
we're
trying
going
to
to
capture
skip
the big
January of
motions of the-
2024, but keep
the
this in
big
mind
shapes.
because something big happens in January of 2024
I really want to do some more
that
light
involves
drawings. It's
both
been a
of the
while
rappers,
since I did
but
some
skipping January
actual
for
light
right now
drawings.
and going straight into February of 2024.
I just wanna
Kanye
get the
drops a new song.
basic
So at this
shapes,
point, February, Cassie
form.
has dropped her lawsuit 4 months ago,
I should
November
study
of
more
2023.
anatomy.
There has been no raids on Diddy's house. He hasn't been arrested. He's a free man. There's just been a lot of media controversy over Cassie's lawsuit. All we know is that she's settled, and that's about it. Everyone's wondering what's going to happen next. Is he just going to like wait for a comeback? We don't know. February of 2024, Kanye drops a new song called Carnival, which did end up peaking on the Billboard Hot 100 at the #1 spot, which is kind of insane considering nobody thought Kanye could ever make a musical comeback after all the insane stuff that he's been saying online for like the past 2 years. A lot of people argue online that the song itself sounds good, but when you sit there and you listen to the lyrics, they're like, suddenly, it's not so good. Okay, so first off, the first few lines on the song, there's one part that reads,
What's the
"Pull
voice
up
in the background?"
trenches like Columbine."
The voice in the background is a podcast from Rotten Mango. She does true crime stuff, and right now they're focusing on the Diddy case and allegedly guessing that Kanye West is probably next to be tried. which I wouldn't be surprised. Kanye West, I used to be a major fan. He lost his way.
Reference to the school. However, that lyric is not rapped by Kanye, but nevertheless, in another verse, Kanye does indeed rap. Anybody pissed off, gotta make him drink the urine. Now I'm Ye Kelly, in
That's
reference
crazy.
to R. Kelly. Now I'm Bill Cosby.
That's
Now
crazy.
I'm Puff Daddy Rich. That's Me Too Rich. Side
Wow.
note, yeah, by this point, like I said, all we know is that
Kanye West
Cassie
is
sued
tripping.
Combs and settled a day later. We have not seen the CNN video. Combs' homes have yet to be
That head's
raided.
too
He
big.
is yet to be arrested. So it's an interesting mix to put those three people together in a song, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and Puff Daddy.
Kanye
Now,
West is just
all
such for
three men
attention
have been
at this
accused
point.
of crimes. He also raps, "This is for what they did to Chris. They can't do shit with this." It is believed that he's referring to Chris Brown for getting blackballed in the music industry after he physically assaulted Rihanna.
Yeah, that was a crazy time.
So another reference that is not necessarily the most, I mean, like, I don't even know what these lyrics mean, but it doesn't appear to be great connections that he's drawing here. Like, those are not people that you want to be connected to.
Yeah.
He also names dropped Taylor Swift, which this Carnival song, it has everybody mad for different reasons. So some people are pissed off because they're like, why are you bringing up Chris Brown and Rihanna? Some people are like, leave Rihanna alone.
No problem.
Other people
Thanks
are
for
mad because
stopping
they're
by.
like, why are you name
Have a good
dropping
one.
Taylor Swift? Like, her fans are like, leave her alone, please. Like,
maybe
why?
Kanye West is
Diddy's name
obsessed
wasn't
too
even
much.
like a main talking point for
Yeah,
people.
I mean, it was a little bit, but it seemed like more so Taylor Swift and
Yeah.
even like the Chris Brown lyric got a little bit more heat.
Yes.
Now, the song performed well, like really well, and a lot of people were upset. They're commenting online, so is he trying to say he's a pedo? I mean, he definitely has a creepy obsession with Taylor, that's for sure. Like, why does he keep mentioning her endlessly? Another netizen says,
gets clicked.
so Kanye is snitching about being a predator because everyone he's listing is a predator. To which someone responds, I seriously doubt it. I think he didn't think it through. I think he's talking about all these men's influence and fame. I mean, I understand Cosby because everybody loved him once upon a time, but Diddy? I mean, everybody knew Diddy had dirt. With another one commenting intensely, he already said he knows that his Me Too is on the way. He said, Me Too Rich. So when he and his slave are done, and they're referring to Bianca Censori, his wife, she will do exactly what Cassie did. That's what the comment is saying. That Bianca Censori is going to leave Kanye and sue Kanye just like Cassie sued Diddy. That's a
crazy.
comment. That's February of 2024. Now, March 25th, 2024, both of
That's a
Diddy's
bad
LA
hand.
and Miami mansions are raided
This
by
is
the
why you gotta
feds,
practice
where
drawing,
they find
kids.
a lifetime supply of baby oil, Astroglide, and guns with their serial numbers scratched off. 1 month later, April 21st, 2024, Kanye drops another song. It's titled Like That Remix. Now, to give you some context, Like That, the original song, not the remix, is a song by Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar. Basically, this is the first diss track against Drake. This is like what allegedly start off the whole feud that ended up with Not Like Us. This dropped in March, so like a month prior, but now in April, Kanye drops Like That Remix. Now, the notable lyric as it pertains to Diddy is, quote, can't stop, won't stop, I just f***ed your Sean John tank top, which is Combs' clothing brand, Sean John. That's actually his first and middle name.
Wasn't "Can't Stop, Won't Stop" like a slogan for the employees or something like that?
Okay, so a few
Diddy
things.
says all
Can't
the
Stop,
time.
Won't Stop. There's a song that Kid Cudi has where he says Can't Stop, Won't Stop 20 times in the song. So I don't know if that's like a slogan that he really liked. And then later, one of Diddy's personal assistants testified and he said, during his interview with Diddy, he said, why should you hire me? Because I can't stop, won't stop. And Diddy was like, I like that.
Yeah,
And then he got hired. So this is a very interesting reference. I mean, I guess it's a kind of commonly used phrase.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still, everything's connected, it appears.
Yeah.
And he says, I just fucked your bitch in a Sean John tank top, which is his clothing brand. So there's that. This releases a month after Sean Combs' homes are raided. I mean, I feel like you could have easily taken that out, replaced it, or at least did what Kesha did. Kesha had a song that said, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, which she now changed it to wake up in the morning feeling like fuck P. Diddy. But no, he just like keeps it in, which appears intentional. Now, Kanye doesn't really talk too much about it. He just says about the song that he was really excited about it because, quote, everybody was very, very energized about the elimination of Drake.
You know, everybody was very, very excited about the elimination of Drake.
Yeah, people thought it was weird because he really wanted to get in on this like diss feud, and everyone's like, remember how Kanye tried to be a part of the fight and everybody just ignored him? Now, the next month, May 2024, CNN releases the Intercontinental Hotel video of Diddy physically assaulting Cassie. 1 month later, June of 2024, now by this point, there are around 70 civil lawsuits filed against Sean Combs.
Whoa.
Prior to his arrest,
Right. Okay. So that was the time that's
like boom, 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 everything's dropping at once. Now, there is now one high-profile lawsuit filed against Kanye West, June of 2024. A woman named Lauren Pisciata files a lawsuit against Kanye West, and this lawsuit will later be amended to involve Sean Combs. So at first, she's just going over the lawsuit. Lauren alleges that she's been in the entertainment industry for the past 15 years. So she's run into Kanye before. Now, one day, Kanye approaches her and asks her, do you want to work as my personal assistant? Which is like, I guess, a cool job offer. But he also agrees to pay her $1 million a year. Kanye is like, but the thing is, Lauren, you gotta be, I mean, Lauren alleges, right? But the thing is, you gotta be available, quote, 24/7, like a super personal assistant. Lauren states by this point in her career, she had her own social media following. She even had an OF page, which she states Kanye knew about and was completely okay with it. Actually, on the contrary, she alleges that sometimes at work, Kanye would brag to his friends that my personal assistant is, quote, an OnlyFans superstar. But in 2022, that all changes. According to the lawsuit, Kanye tells Lauren to delete her OnlyFans because he wants her to be, quote, godlike. He even offers to pay her $1 million to delete it.
how long has she been with him since then?
A few years,
Okay.
I believe. When she deletes her OnlyFans, which she's making like $1 million a year from it,
That's crazy.
Kanye never pays her. And that's when Kanye starts sending her these allegedly unwanted, unprompted, non-consensual, offensive text messages and videos. So one example listed in the lawsuit, the text from Kanye to Lauren. Again, this is his personal assistant. This is his employee. He's also married to Bianca Censori. I don't think at this point he was, but he will eventually be married to her as this progresses. Now, he would text her, sex workers always got the best P. It's their business. I don't know if he's trying to say that she has like the best private part. Another text message reads, one time I took a Viagra and f***ed an A-list celebrity for 3 hours. Not sure why that thought came to me. He's just like texting her this. And she's like, why do I need to know this? I don't want to know this. Another text says, I'm going to f*** the living dog shit out of this off the honey. All her friends gonna need to find out where every that f- with me in love. Well, first of all, like it doesn't really make the most sense. And second of all, he is sending this to his personal assistant. Then another text message Lauren alleges in her lawsuit that was sent to her reads, I have a serious question. Be honest with me. Is my dick racist? Is it this fucking racist dick of mine? I'm going to beat this fucking racist dick for being racist. I'm going to stare at pictures of white women with black asses and beat the shit out of my racist dick. This racist dick needs to be beaten till it can't be racist no more. Also, disturbingly, he texts her, hug, please. And she says that he was absolutely, she alleges, he was absolutely one of those people that would ask for creepy hugs unprompted by all people. It exponentially gets worse. If all of Lauren's allegations are true, because he proceeds to allegedly send her a video of him having intimate relations with a model, and then sends this meme to clarify what he means by a hug. It's not a regular hug. It's a meme of a black man and a naked white woman hugging.
Wait,
naked.
he sends a video?
He sends a video of him having intimate relations with a model, and then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what I mean by wanting a hug. And it's like a naked black man, a naked white woman, and they're hugging, and it's very clear that they're having intimate relations.
Okay.
That's crazy.
And he's like, I need a hug.
What?
Yeah. And so he's saying that's what he wants when he says he needs a hug. He also proceeds to send another video of himself receiving oral activities from a model. And then he proceeds to ask Lauren if he should edit the video because he wants to make sure that his private parts look large enough. In another alleged text message, he sends her a video of himself having intimate relations with a Yeezy employee. And then he asks her, what you think of this vid? Then he sends a cropped version of that video. So it's the same video, but he's just cropped it. And then he texts her, I edited LOL. He later allegedly explains to Lauren that his private parts did not appear big enough for him to send this video to his friends, which also makes you question, if this is true, who is he sending these videos to? Like, what friends are receiving these videos?
That's kind of weird.
And do these women know that these videos are being sent? Now, allegedly, he also sends her another text message, and it's actually a screenshot of a text message. So imagine A and B are texting, screenshot, and then A sends it to C. Lauren is C, A is Kanye. Now, allegedly, Kanye had texted Bianca Censori, his now wife, I came so hard. I love seeing your reaction while we fuck. I want to fuck your mom before she leaves.
What?
Then another message from Kanye to allegedly Bianca, I want you to watch me f your mom. Anyway, he screenshots all of this and allegedly sends it to Lauren. Now, Lauren alleges a lot more detailed incidents in her lawsuit that Kanye was asking her to participate in 3 people activities. Another
That's
moment,
crazy.
Lauren alleges Kanye and Bianca Censori called her because they wanted to talk to her in great
I'm gonna
detail,
do some more
allegedly, about
sketching.
the 5-person activity that they just participated the day prior. Sometimes Kanye would call her and she claims that he would be self-pleasuring while talking to her, and he would constantly ask her over the phone, can you hear what I'm doing? Can you guess what I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing right now?
Wow.
Now, in relation to the Sean Combs case, there's a few points in Lauren's lawsuit a lot of people are taking a closer look at now. One part of the lawsuit, Lauren alleges Kanye would send her text messages about his intimate life that, first of all, she didn't really want to know anything about at all. But he would also write things like, quote, see, my problem is I be wanting to fuck, but then after I fuck, I want a girl to tell me how hard they've been fucked while I'm fucking them. Then I want her to cheat on me and go get fucked with a bigger dick than mine and come back and tell me the story. Then I want her to suck my dick with her best friend, or option B, suck my dick with a bad bitch I'm f***ing already. I f***ed, then made her tell me how hard she'd been f***ed while I was f***ing her, then went and f***ed somebody else with a bigger dick behind my back and told me while I was f***ing her. Now ain't that f***ed? In another message, he gets to the point a lot quicker and he texts her, again, without her consent. She's his employee and it's alleged, but still, he texts, allegedly, I love when bitches get the shit out of them and tell me about it while I f them. A lot of people have pointed out that it sounds like a similar cucky kink that Sean Combs has. So, further alleged in the lawsuit, Lauren states that Kanye sent her a 33-second video of a model that he was just having intimate relations with. And now this model is having intimate relations with an unidentified man that is not Kanye. Lauren further alleges in her lawsuit that she never wanted to see any of this. She wanted to just be professional. However, Kanye would have her do all sorts of weird things. Like he would want her to go get this very specific honey that's used to enhance his male performance during intimate relations. She states that Kanye would make sure that she always had the honey on her person, and whenever he needed it, she would have to deliver it to him. This honey connection is intriguing because the same honey has been mentioned a few times throughout Sean Combs' trial. An assistant testified that he really liked having his vital honey around to help him keep up his intimate performance.
Really? It's the same product?
Yes. Now, I will say it does seem to be like a thing that people think it's like a home remedy to help with performance, like an aphrodisiac, I guess. So it's not just unique to them, but with all the other overlapping coincidences and connections between Kanye and Sean Combs' intimate life, it's
That's crazy.
interesting.
Yeah.
Now, this is in June of 2024. A few months later, she will amend this lawsuit, and interestingly enough, Lauren will actually name Sean Combs in the new amended lawsuit. Taking
What
your
does that
business
mean?
to the next level is a dream lots of us share, but too often kind of just hold ourselves back thinking like, what if I don't have the skills? What if I don't know how to do this? What if I can't do it alone? And that's
Alright, I'll do
exactly where
another
we were
pose.
when I decided to turn those what ifs into, you know what, why not? Let's try it and let's give Shopify a try. My family and I were able to launch our own small business selling limited edition artwork at Grandpa Mingo's art studio because honestly, we had Shopify. There would have been no other way. They are an all-in-one commerce platform to start and run and grow a business. Shopify has your back with gorgeous, ready-to-go templates, AI tools built specifically for commerce, and the world's highest converting customizable one-click checkout that also powers 10% of US e-commerce. If you've been sitting on a business idea or wanting to take your side hustle to the next step, stop overthinking it. Shopify makes it so much easier than you think. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/rotten. Go to shopify.com/rotten. Shopify.com/rotten.
I'm gonna try to draw more.
Here is a dirty little secret that the insurance industry may want to keep under wraps. Insurance companies
More of a
profit by holding onto your money for
milk
as long as
form.
possible. Morgan & Morgan fights hard against these corporations
muscular
to fight to make sure you get every dollar that
figure.
you deserve. When in court, the
Probably like the
insurance companies,
chest
they want
area.
jurors to think the
Went down.
at-fault driver is the one paying the verdict amount. Meanwhile, it's usually the insurance companies who are covering the cost. When Morgan & Morgan takes on a case, they are almost always going after the big insurance companies and not the individuals at fault. A recent client in Pennsylvania just received $29 million. The insurer's best offer was $500,000.
Person's
I
very
mean, there's a
muscular.
reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. I mean, hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. With Morgan & Morgan, it's easy to get started, and their fee is free unless they win. Just click the link in the description below or visit forthepeople.com/rotten. That's forthepeople.com/rotten, or click the link in the description below. This is a paid advertisement.
Alright. You draw Venom.
A new amended part of the lawsuit reads that Lauren alleges that she was in the studio with Kanye and Sean Combs, where drinks were served. Lauren drinks it, and the lawsuit alleges that unbeknownst to the plaintiff, the drink she was served was laced with
arms
an
are kinda
unidentified
crossed.
drug. After a few small sips of the beverage, she suddenly started to feel disoriented. She alleges that she starts losing control over her body, her speech. She does not remember anything else from that night.
These are just rough
Which there were a
sketches
lot of
and
people that
poses.
felt initially a little suspicious about it. They said,
No,
oh, it's
it's not.
intriguing
Other
that she
arm
would amend the lawsuit a
the
month after
hand
Sean Combs' arrest. It just
there.
feels convenient. It feels like, oh, you know what? Two birds, one stone. That's what some people on the internet were alleging. However, if you really dive deep into it, that doesn't seem to be the case
These are
at
rough
all.
sketches.
Because after
do some
Lauren's
more.
initial lawsuit in June, way before Sean Combs
I'll
gets
do some more
arrested,
male
a woman
figures.
by the name of Nikki Heaton takes to Instagram Live. Now, Nikki Heaton
do
was like
another
a
one.
huge musician back then. Like, she blew up. She had a crazy viral song, and then she just disappeared. She like disappeared from the music industry. She goes on Instagram Live and she says, I was actually there that day.
At this party?
Yeah, so she's talking about this before Lauren like details it in the amended lawsuit. But she says that she was actually Lauren's client. Lauren was a manager for Nicki's music career when this is before Nicki fell out of music, and this is before Lauren was hired as Kanye's personal assistant,
more
like
posing.
long before. Now, she says, I was never actually going to tell this
Next
story ever.
one.
I was going to go to my grave with this because in my perspective, it's like, what's the point? Who would believe me? What good would it do? I don't have proof. I'm not going to file anything. But because of recent events and things that have come out quite recently, I felt the need to come on here. And, you know, my old manager, Lauren, has kind of been the whistleblower on the shit that he's done. I'm very proud of her. Like, I'm very, very proud of her. Nikki says initially she wasn't going to say anything until she went to all the comments of people talking about Lauren's lawsuit against Kanye West, and people were calling Lauren a liar and saying that none of this is true. Lauren is trying to get money from Kanye. She's trying to get clout from Kanye. And Nikki says it just made her so mad. She says, quote, so basically, I'm telling this story now because you guys know me. I don't give a f. I'm out of the industry. I left LA. I'm in the middle of nowhere on a farm. I'm not filing any sort of suit, so I'm not getting any money from this. And she explains that when she started blowing up in the music industry, Kanye invites her to the studio. So she goes with her manager, Lauren, at the time, and it's like a bunch of people there. There's like 9 women there, and she says, don't shoot the messenger. But back then, they were called studio hoes. So these are women who come to the studio dressed in club wear, and a lot of times they will leave with musicians that are in the studio. And she says, again, that's just the terminology that was already in place. It's not something that she's using. Now, she says, immediately we walk in and there's something not right. So she says, I was invited as a manager, or as an artist. My manager shows up. She thinks they're making music. So she's wearing double XL sweatpants and a giant hoodie. She says, I look like a slob. Kanye and Sean Combs are there, already out of their mind, just drunk, just completely drunk. She gets handed a drink. She doesn't feel good about it. So she takes like the tiniest sip and she doesn't really drink the rest.
Wait, so it was a music studio.
Yes.
And Sean Combs, Diddy were there, and 9 other girls.
Diddy and Kanye were there. Maybe that's easier. Yes.
Diddy, Kanye, and 9 other girls are there.
Yes.
Okay.
As well as like a few different male executives.
Okay.
So there's like a lot of people there. And she doesn't really drink it because she doesn't feel good about it. And she starts panicking because she looks over and Lauren, her manager, is drinking the drink. So Nikki starts freaking out because she's like, okay, I just don't feel right about this situation. Like, what do I do? And she sees Lauren's face get really flushed and she starts speaking really loudly, which
Lauren,
Nikki is
your
like,
posts-
that's not Lauren. Like, Lauren is
Welcome.
very shy. She's very socially awkward. And Nikki is like, something weird is happening. So whatever it's laced with is hitting her. And then Lauren is like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and just like leaves, leaving Nikki to freak out. So now she's in this room. The other girls are quote dismissed. And it's just Kanye and Diddy and 3 other guys that work with them.
The girls file out. They go to like a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? I'm already seeing people being like, this is cap. What do I have to gain? Let me just ask you, what do I have to gain? I'm in a fucking farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in the industry anymore. I'm not filing a lawsuit, so I'm not getting paid. I'm not looking for clout, because who gives a fuck about me? So why would I lie about this? Yeah, so I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, it's fine, I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. And she's like, it's right there. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in this studio. The music's low, the lights are dim, but you can still like see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me, alone. Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room. And they're like fucked out of their minds. And they start coming towards me and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just like see like how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but like, there's no reason to panic. There's other men here. And they're coming towards me more and they're trying to like take my clothes off.
What?
And
crazy.
I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good. But I'm like still trying to like play it off. Just like, stop, you guys are stupid. Like, get out of here. Like, don't touch me. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop. Like, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like, I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like, seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well. Like, we've been around him a lot. He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like, if I reached and he reached too, like, we could touch. Like, he's that close. And I look and I'm like, hey, like I give that look where I'm just like, come on, like step in, like this isn't cool, like you're a grown man, like you're like 50 years old, I know you have a family, like you know this isn't right, like do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live, I will never fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these two grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man asking for help, and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. I'm like, okay, there's two more men in the room. And I look to his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married and he just had a little baby girl. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next and I'm like, okay, like do something, say something, do anything.
That's crazy.
And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next. And I'm like, do something, you know, like fucking do something. And he spins his chair around. And that's when that like gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight. No one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna do fucking anything. And that's when I was truly fucking scared. At this point, they had ripped my shirt off and they were trying to get my pants off. And I realized that I was completely alone. And I closed my eyes for a second. And I was like, God help me. What do I do? And as my eyes were closed, this is gonna sound weird because I bet a lot of you are wondering, like, how the fuck did you get out of this situation? My eyes were closed and I prayed and I said, God help me, what do I do? And it was like clear as day. I heard this in my head and it didn't make any sense. I heard, go towards them. And I was like, oh, fucking great. The one time I asked God for help, Satan answers, because why the fuck would I go towards these two predators who are sexually assaulting me? Like, why would I do that? And then all of a sudden it clicked. My back was up against the glass wall. I could not go any further back. That was the only exit. He said, go towards them. They were already drunk off their shit. They were fucked up. So I lunged forward. I stepped forward.
That's crazy.
And it like threw them off balance. Like they were like, oh, you know, and like they stepped back at least 1.5 feet. And the moment that they did, I reached behind my back, I pulled the door and I slipped out, grabbing my clothes. And I ran across the hall, across this corridor, and I hid inside of an empty studio that was black. And I sat there for like 25 minutes.
She was crying in the dark, trying to get in contact with Lauren, who's not responding. And she later states Lauren was drugged and I wasn't. She further alleges the other thing that really fucked me is those 9 other girls who were drinking the drinks before we even got there. I know none of them got out. I know none of them got saved that night. And I'm like, did they even remember? Did they know what happened to them?
That is crazy.
So
she posts this video on Instagram.
She was on Instagram Live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
A few days after Lauren's initial lawsuit. So if all of this is true, then it's likely that Lauren didn't really recall every, like in vivid detail, because she does state that she doesn't really recall what happened that night after she drank the laced drinks, right? But it seems like Nikki telling her story maybe put 2 and 2 together. July and August of 2024 are relatively quieter months for the two individuals, Diddy and Kanye, until September 16th, 2024. Combs, Diddy, is arrested. It seems like these events in 2024, it brings them together in a way that, I don't know, maybe we weren't expecting, maybe they were expecting it, because now after Diddy's arrest, Kanye goes to war for Diddy, which is strange because yes, in 2024, both of them had bad years. Was it deserved? Probably, perhaps, absolutely. You decide. But still, objectively, they were having very, very bad years. And then all of a sudden, Diddy gets arrested and it brings them together. And it's weird because before 2024, they didn't seem close. In fact, just recently in 2022, Kanye West went on a whole public tirade against Diddy. To give you some context, there's an interview from 2020 where Kanye does an interview with Drink Champs, and in it he basically states, I don't got no celebrity friends because when I was on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I don't have the address to my child, none of these wanted to say something. Now, Travis gave me the address. Travis Scott allegedly gave him the address
What address?
to where his kids were.
Oh.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard, fuck you, because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got talks because you did a deal, you fucking fed.
So he's like saying like the deal that they got away with a bunch of stuff legally is because they're a Fed now.
The irony is crazy, huh?
Yeah. He also texts Diddy those very choice words. Fuck you, you Fed. Kanye.
How do we know this?
We know this because Kanye screenshots this conversation and then posts it immediately on his Instagram. And all of this is because in 2022, Kanye and Diddy have a very public falling out because Kanye starts selling White Lives Matter t-shirts. Diddy allegedly reaches out to Kanye privately. He texts him and asks him, hey, can you stop? Which promptly Kanye texts back, I didn't like our convo. I'm selling these tees. Nobody gets in between me and my money. This is my grandfather texting you now. Never call me with no bullshit like that again unless you're ready to greenlight me. Because anybody who got on that tee is me. Out of respect for everything you've meant to me, I'll be quiet as Virgil. But now I know how I've hurt the people I love with threats.
First of all, what does green light mean?
No, we don't know what any of this means. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be like we're missing much context. It just seems like...
He said, I'm texting you as my grandpa now? Or
Yeah.
this is my grandpa? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, then Kanye sends another one right underneath it that says, come do something illegal to me now, please. Kanye posts this screenshot to Combs, posted on Instagram with the caption, God is love. My brother misspoke to me, but I still love him. To which...
God is love?
Yeah, and like at that time, Diddy was calling himself love.
Oh, and he said God is love.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. We're so confused. And then he posts it, and I'm assuming he posted in real time because Sean Combs immediately Diddy text Kanye, as soon as I land, we'll meet face to face, send me an address. Kanye responds, fuck you, you Fed, in all caps. And then posts that as well on Instagram with the caption, Jesus is king. Then there's another text screenshot Kanye posts from Diddy to Kanye. And Diddy says, send me an address. Let's stop playing these internet games. And don't feel threatened. You'll be fine. Just love. To which Kanye responds, this ain't a game. I'm going to use you as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that. No one can threaten or influence me. I told you this is war. Now go on and get you some business. To which his new Instagram caption for this screenshot is, Jesus is a Jew. Then another, a screenshot of Diddy texting Kanye, I'm just trying to talk to you as a black man, and I'm talking to you because this is hurting our people. Stop. Kanye responds, anything you text, I will post. I love you, and you guys are breaking my heart. I accept your apology in advance. He does promptly post this on Instagram too with the caption, God is love, this time in all caps. So to say that they have a contentious, strange friendship, relationship is a bit of an understatement, but literally just a few months before all of this, a few months in 2022 before all of this happened, they were like best friends. Sean Combs, Diddy won the BET Lifetime Achievement Award, and Kanye is the one presenting it. He says about Diddy rather dramatically, How do we crown our kings? How do we appreciate our kings? This is my favorite artist. You see what I'm saying? Favorite artist, everything. And he broke all the rules. He broke down the doors and understood contracts in a way a lot of us don't, understood money in a way a lot of us still don't. I go for him to advice for this day. He inspired so many of my choices, so many of my life choices, my wife choices, and here we are. Thank you for that, Puff. Any of us in this room, if Puff ever need us, we need to jump up and be there.
Wild. He
Yeah.
say if Puff needs us, we need to jump up and be there.
Yeah, and then
And nobody showed up.
No, a few months later, he crashes out, calls Sean Combs a freaking Fed. But perhaps they just have a volatile relationship, which, I mean, I don't think would be different from any other relationship Sean Combs seems to have. They all seem to be rather volatile. 3 years after calling Diddy a Fed, Kanye will show up to the Manhattan federal courthouse to support Diddy. And his timing is so strange. But first I need to catch you up to speed of what happens after Diddy's arrest to the point of Kanye showing up to the Manhattan courthouse. Because it's strange, but it's not necessarily like the most surprising thing. Because, I mean, if you just look at it, you're like, oh, he called Kanye a Fed. But then when you deep dive into the lore, as much as 2024 was a bad year for both of them, 2025 was also very strange. Sean Combs is sitting in prison February of 2025. So this is 3 months until the Combs trial kicks off. Kanye states on Twitter that he's going to be selling Sean John merch and that he is going to be splitting the profits 50-50 with Sean Combs, with Diddy. And it's just like red, blue, and white shirts that read Sean John. And like most things Kanye has been doing recently, literally not a single person asked for any of this. Each shirt was going to be $30. They were up on his Yeezy website. It's not available anymore, thank God. But a bunch of netizens were just so grossed out, commenting, "Hello, nurse, another one has escaped." Others are commenting, when will everyone realize that this man is not a good person? It's crazy how he does all this nasty stuff and no one says anything about it, but imagine if a woman did it, everyone would be so pissed.
Do you wonder how many people actually buy that? Like Sean John shirt in 2025?
I feel like a lot of people probably did.
That's insane. Like,
Some people said, actually, you got it incorrectly, and they just posted their idea of Sean John merch, which just includes orange prison jumpsuits. To which somebody clearly is using Diddy's Instagram because they repost it. So they've since deleted it, but Diddy's official Instagram page did post the collaboration, and it was captioned, "Thank you to my brother at Ye." Yeah.
Okay.
It was deleted. Kanye also went on to X, Twitter, X, right, to write, "I just found out that Puff is not allowed to make or collect money while he's locked up, so I'm gonna send his half of the money to Justin." Justin as in Justin Combs, his firstborn child. Justin Combs also posted the Sean John collab to his Instagram, which was now deleted. The post was.
Growing your family as a newcomer means you've got questions. When it comes to your next steps, we've got answers. Build your credit with a no annual fee credit card with the BMO New Start program.
This is a nice setup you have here. Oh, nice.
I'm gonna do some
A
muscle
lot of people
studies.
ask how NICE became the leader in AI-powered customer experience. And yes, we have an incredible AI platform, but honestly, our secret sauce is Kristen Bell.
Kristen has an abnormally high baseline for niceness. We tested it repeatedly.
You've just been transferred for the 4th time.
I love meeting new people.
It says your package has arrived, but you can't find it.
Ooh, a mystery.
You get to the restaurant, but they've given away your reservation.
Takeout and dinner at home? Even better.
Your friend is late for lunch.
No, I was early. That's on me.
You've now been on hold for 45 minutes.
Jamming to royalty-free music, baby. I have an apple or a banana. Thank God I had toilet paper. And if I hadn't lost that job, I would have never started hula dancing.
She doesn't break.
I'm just drawing hearts now.
Me too. We're creating a nicer world with the nicest human on Earth.
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you are.
It's not a competition.
So that's February of 2025. That same month, Kanye goes on to tweet at Donald Trump, "Please free my brother Puff." So there's that. And then there's another merch drop. And this one is, okay, so remember the CNN hotel footage of Sean Combs, Diddy assaulting Cassie?
Yes.
In that video, Cassie is wearing a hoodie. It's a black hoodie with 4 M's in the back that are connected. This hoodie is actually from Kanye's album merch from 2015. So, you know, she was wearing it around that time, but it's from his album that's called So Help Me God. And according to Kanye fans, he would mainly sell this hoodie at his shows during that time. Like, you can't really buy it anytime now. And if you're like a diehard Kanye fan, this is like one of the hoodies that you really foam at the mouth for. Like, you really want this hoodie. Allegedly, he even had it tattooed on himself, like the logo of the 4 M's connected, tattooed on his body at one point, though I believe it's either covered up or removed at this point. And apparently, a lot of fans really want to get their hands on this hoodie. And then 2025, Kanye tweets, the Love hoodie is available now. And it's that hoodie from So Help Me God. But here's the weird thing. Why is he calling it the Love hoodie? And when he posts this on Twitter, he posts 2 pictures for this merch drop. One of them is of the hoodie. And the second one is a screenshot of the CNN hotel assault video where
fucking crazy.
Yes, where Diddy is standing in a hotel, like in a towel in the hotel hallway, approaching Cassie. Cassie is bent over, grabbing her purse, and on the back of her hoodie, you can see the emblem.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So this hoodie was originally coveted by OG fans, like I said, who knew of the album. Also, another side lore is that album was scrapped. So it's more coveted because it's like, okay, it didn't even like fully come into fruition. It feels like a discontinued something, like it feels very niche. And a lot of people are commenting like, I wanted this for the longest time. Why the fuck did it have to come out under these circumstances? Others are saying, literally, I told my friend I wanted this a couple months back, and now I can never purchase something like this because of this reason. Others are saying, I mean, I was kind of excited until I realized why he's dropping this. Why is he human scum? Then March 15th of 2025, so this is 2 months before the trial kicks off. It does indeed get worse. Kanye releases yet another song. This one is titled Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine, featuring his own daughter, Northwest, but also Diddy and Diddy's son, Christian Combs. Now, by the way, Northwest is just 11 years old at this point. Nothing in this song is particularly vulgar. However, it's questionable because both Diddy and Christian Combs are facing SA allegations. Combs is literally on trial for trafficking. Christian has a lawsuit, which it's unclear if it's been settled, but why bring your 11-year-old daughter into this? Also, the fact that the whole world is looking at Diddy not in a positive light, at the very least, he's a known abuser, he's violent, and he wants his daughter to be in a song with him. It doesn't make sense. Like, would it not be in a father's best interest to make sure that their child is not around the influence of these types of people? Additionally, Kanye is planning on hanging out with the Tate brothers after recording this song while he's with Northwest. It's alleged that Kim Kardashian had to pull a bunch of strings to pick up Northwest to make sure that she did not run into the Tate brothers. But also, Kanye accuses Kim of being a trafficker. So it's like all sorts of messiness. Which, side note, if you're wondering how Diddy was featured on the song, it's a jail call that he had with Kanye that Kanye recorded, and it's like the intro. So remember how back then people would put voicemails into their intro? Yeah, well, he's doing that in 2025, but make it MDC Correctional Facility. And Christian Combs' verses read, money, power, respect, still the key to life. Again, against the darkness, I can see the light. Look in the mirror, have visions of sane puff, about willpower, caramel-colored skin, came from God, that's the real power. We ain't had our kingdom, we built ours, built different, walk different, feel different. Put the whole world against me, I'ma keep the same face. I wanted all the real love, the fake hate, the headline's gonna still say, vacate the throne. Young, I'm home, still fly like DIDDY. Close your eyes, you don't want to see me fly. I can't wait to see their face when we collide. Northwest lines include doing everything I wanted, that's the key to life. Surrounded by fake friends I don't even like. When you see me shining, then you see the light. Everything they know, it ain't even right. Okay, good night. A lot of netizens, again, they don't think that the lyrics themselves are particularly vulgar, but it's just very disappointing with people writing, aligning his own daughter with his Diddy crusade is just pure, unfiltered, nasty work, genuinely just dark shit. Another one reads, removing the implications from the song itself is still barren, just rapping, robotic singing, and Combs and Kanye groaning down a phone to each other. Another one just reads, King Combs might be the worst rapper ever. Another netizen theorizes, I bet Diddy has a tape of Ye doing something horrible or unspeakable, because no way Ye is going to do a diss track on Drake for being a PDF file and then turn around and do a song with Puffy. March 17th, so a few days after, so again, 2 months before the trial, the jailhouse call between Sean Combs, Diddy, and Kanye gets leaked by the Shade Room. I mean, Kanye recorded it, but Shade Room broke it, I guess.
What's Shade a news thing?
Yeah, it's just Diddy trying to motivate Kanye. He's like, I'm going to tell you the real from the front line. It's wicked, wicked, wicked. So you be careful. We need you out there. You feel me? He's like encouraging Kanye to get back in the studio. He says, when I get out, I need to see you performing. And I'm like, sir, you're facing life. I don't know if you're going to get out, but I digress. We don't know, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, I will see you. You tear down the stadium. I need to see you back on that stage. And actually rapping and performing and everything. I be dreaming of that shit.
Yeah, it's time. It's time for me to just grab a mic and get back on.
Now, Sean Combs tells Kanye to get back in the studio, have fun, do all of these things. And he's like, we gotta keep the frequency high, like the energy high.
And when I get out and I get that freedom, whew,
Right.
I am not caring about nothing but motherfucking being happy. And I want you to feel that.
Yeah.
I want y'all to have that for yourselves, man.
Yeah.
He's just like motivating Kanye while Kanye is just responding like, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. That's how it's gonna be. You gonna definitely beat this shit. Yeah. Yes, sir. And that's it.
To which someone comments online, humans are amazing. The ability to uplift someone when you're clearly going through your own personal struggle is the ultimate level of humanity. Others agree, but not in the same way. They state, great message, devilish messenger. Another one writes, the amount of people in this comment section that's praising Diddy is the reason why he never got caught before now, because he's, quote, such a good guy for saying one thing motivational. Shaking my head, Jesus Christ. Another one reads, listening to Diddy about having fun is the last piece of advice I would take, respectfully. Another one just reads, we seriously do not give a f***, literally. Then almost immediately after, some netizens start saying that Kanye had put the K in KKK, which is absolutely unhinged. And I was like, what does that even mean? And then you see that he does an interview where he is wearing a custom leather black KKK robe. He also mentions he has a white version, like with the hood and everything. And before he changes into that, he was wearing a Sean John shirt.
What is going on?
He changes into the leather outfit and he tells the person interviewing him, you know, the funny thing is I really wanted to wear it yesterday, but I thought that they would put me in the hospital in this outfit. Like they would put me in the hospital for my outfit. Like he's trying to express that's crazy, that's how the world works. And I don't know, people are just trying to express it's actually not that crazy. He also goes on to say about Kim Kardashian, so this white woman and this white family have the control of these highly influential black kids that are half of the children of Ye. So he's saying it's because Kim Kardashian and her family have control over their children. That's just in everybody's face, and like they was playing in my face like that. He also alleges that powerful people were behind CNN's release of the hotel video of Sean Combs assaulting Cassie. He starts connecting it with him and Adidas having a falling out, and he says that he alleges that Adidas did everything in their power to take him down after their falling out. He's basically saying that the people who run these massive corporations, it's like a...
Alright, I think we're going to end my stream right here today. We didn't get much done as we wanted to, but it's just a little rough sketching. And back to the flow of drawings. Thanks for watching. Again, you can follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon for more exclusive stuff. Links are in the bio. See you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.